Welcome back to Grow Joyfully. It's 35 degrees and partly cloudy. There's some nice sun right there. This time of year everything looks like such a ratty mess, but in a couple more months it will look a lot greener, and then we can start working outside easier and not freezing to death. We can start raking up the leaves, just making things look nicer. So it's time to go and feed the animals, and I thought I'd bring you along with me. Letting the girls out, and I brought them some scraps. It's very wet and muddy, quite yucky. We've had a lot of rain. We had 4 inches of snow on Monday, and then it rained it all off. And so we're just in that mucky, yucky time of year. Keep this rubber mat here that we had used for our horses earlier when we had them. And then I can feed the chickens on there and not have the scratch get lost in all the mud. So that's what they're waiting for. They're waiting for their scratch. They love, love, love it. I wonder if we're going to see the wild bunny today. Buddy the bunny. I think that's what I'm going to call him because I'll remember that. I know. Sad. Bad memory. Look at these little dollies. All cuddled together. Uh-oh. One got something a little stuck there. Are you okay, baby? Goodness. It's okay. Yeah. You all right? There we go. Much better. Whew. Didn't want to have to give CPR to a chicken. I need to get some more of the pine shavings out of the barn and take it over to their coop and cover up the mud. They just kind of work it down into the mud, and then it's not very useful. Let's stop and see Hopper for a second. Hi, darling. Are you ready for some treats? Yes. Okay. And I'll clean out your water, give you some more pellets and some more hay. Are you a sweet bunny? I thought so. Yeah. Sweet bunny, huh? Hopper now has some little bunny treats. And he has his hay and his alfalfa pellets and some clean water. Oh, he's so soft. He loves, loves, loves his bunny treats. Don't you, buddy? Like I said, the chickens have trod underfoot all the pine shavings we had in here. And it got so wet that I'm just going to put this whole bag out there for them so they have something nice and warm and dry to step on. It's a big job, but it's worth it. It looks and smells so much better in here. Pine shavings are a really great way to go when you're trying to keep your chickens warm and clean. I like it much better than straw. I filled their nest boxes up with pine shavings as well to keep them cleaner and cozier for them to lay their eggs in. Do you girls approve? Well, good. I've spread it out some with a rake, but they'll come in here and scratch around and distribute it how they want it. They're pretty funny. One thing that I was going to point out, if you keep scratch underneath their posts where they like to roost at night, just like this little girl's doing here, they will go in and scratch through the dirt, the mud, and the poop and find the scratch and actually redistribute things, which will keep the coop cleaner and nicer, believe it or not. They are just little scratchers. So I'm going to get some scratch and distribute it underneath the posts where they like to roost. Time to scrub their water container with soap and water and get it all clean and fill it with fresh, clean water. We do that for all the animals. Okay, so I have thoroughly scrubbed their water container, self-feeding, and it's setting on its warming mat so it doesn't freeze. And it will stay clean for about 30 seconds until they get in here. That's why they have to have their water changed at least once a day, if not more, especially in the summer. So they have clean water, their hoppers filled up with feed. I've put down nice dry pine shavings. This interesting thing is a feed block, so they can just peck away at it and have something to work on. And I've got pine shavings in their nest, and I've collected all the eggs. And because it was so muddy and yucky in here, their eggs are muddy and yucky. So I'm going to have to go in and take a little wet paper towel and work on these things and get them all clean. Eggs last at least up to a month in the refrigerator unwashed. Once you wash the eggs, you wash the bloom off. The bloom is a protective coating. So once you wash that off, they will only last, they still last a long time, no matter what they say, but they'll last at least a couple weeks in the refrigerator. But unwashed, I fully believe that they'll last longer than a month. So anyway, thanks for joining me today for feeding the animals. I've got to go and feed the rooster, and we'll try to get that done. I feel a lot better about how things look for them in the chicken coop, and I'm going to have to go and buy some more pine shavings because we don't want their eggs to be all dirty like this. So, off to feed the rooster. Feeding chickens 20%, at least 20% protein, helps them to lay more eggs. So that's what we definitely focus on in the winter. One of the stores that are local only has up to 20%. It's 20% or 16. We choose 16 during the summer, 20 in the winter. And then another store that's farther away, why are you pecking on my leg? Another store that's farther away only has, I think maybe up to 22% and then 16. So we just feed them table scraps, as high a protein mix as we can in their layer pellets, and then we give them scratch to help keep their body temperatures up in the winter when it's cold. See, this is what the ground looks like because of all the rain and the snow. And it just gets so muddy. So it's definitely an uphill battle to keep your chickens dry and clean during the winter months. I was going to show you the progress of this poor little Cochin Banty. She's getting her feathers back on slowly. It's called the molting process, and they lose all their feathers and then they grow them back. And strangely enough, it's usually during the winter, which doesn't make much sense because they get very cold. But feeding them corn and grain like this helps to keep their body temperature warmer. So I'm glad she's getting her little feathers back. They're all filling in very nicely. Yummy, 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 huh? Time to feed George. He's getting anxious. George, are you hungry, buddy? Yeah, I'm gonna feed you. Everything's okay. Okay, George now has his grain. I gave him some alfalfa pellets in case he wanted those, and some corn and a few treats like that. I gave him some clean hay. They actually love the little grassy, flaky part in it. And he has clean water. So everybody's been fed and loved, and everybody's good to go. So I hope you enjoyed this video. It was fun making it with you. I hope you can get outside and enjoy your pets or anything you can, even if it's cold. Just bundle up and get out there and walk. Be outside and dream of spring, because that's what I'm doing, and that's what's keeping me going. You guys have a great day, and don't forget to do it joyfully. Okay, George out. Did you do that? Yeah, you did, didn't you? Why did you dig that up? It's been sitting there for over a year. Yeah, you just suddenly decided you wanted to see what was at the bottom of it. Oh well. Part of farm life. I have 2 clean, beautiful dozen of eggs to take out to my daughter's house. It is a lot of work to keep chickens and to keep them all nice and clean and fed and happy, but it's definitely worth it. I'm so glad that they're laying again and that their winter molt is over.